tonight, a bill proposed in the Tennessee state legislature could make it mandatory now for fathers out of wedlock to take a DNA test before signing a birth certificate.
Fox 13 government reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live. Kayla, this bill was discussed and passed in a House committee today. And you know, it goes back, there have been advocates who said it could solve a lot of problems if it were just the first thing that happens for all babies.
That's right, Merle, and this is also coming on the heels of another child support reform bill that was recently passed that says if fathers fall behind too much on child support, they can now lose custody of their children. Now, I spoke to one Memphis representative who says this is specifically for couples who are not married.
This is a big deal. This is an issue that needs to be fixed.
State Representative Antonio Parkinson says the conception of this bill came from a haircut trip.
You know, I was in the barbershop and this young man stopped me and he said that he was in a long-term relationship. They had a child. They were living together at the time.
Parkinson says the man went on to say that after the kid turned 5, he found out his partner had an affair, and a DNA test later revealed the man was not the child's father after all.
When they went to court over the child support, he presented the DNA evidence. The magistrate, and this is in Shelby County Juvenile Court, the magistrate basically banged the gavel down and said, somebody's got to feed him, and it's going to be you until he ages out of child support.
Parkinson says the man ended up having to pay up to 5 years in child support as a result, and also ended up losing his license, job, and going to jail temporarily. House Bill 2698 will make it so that if a prospective father wants to voluntarily sign a birth certificate, he has to provide DNA test results first. Parkinson says this doesn't only impact Memphis.
The rural district attorneys were looking for somebody to carry legislation to start reforming our child support system, because it's rural guys that are getting hit with these same laws, and it is hurting me.
Now, I reached out to the Department of Human Services for a response to this, and they did not immediately give me a response. Once we have that, of course, we'll update the story for you. Now, this bill moves on to the Senate floor tomorrow morning. Live in Memphis, Kayla Solomon, Fox 13 News.
Every dad deserves a free DNA test. If that baby belongs to that man, the woman should have no problem with a DNA test. I support this idea.
Mr. Wynn, you are not the father.
When he finally learned the real identity of the child's father, he completely broke down in court. The man had known his ex-wife since they were 18 and had shared many years of happiness together. But everything changed when he introduced his friend to his wife, which unknowingly became the trigger for the breakdown of their marriage.
I've been told numerous times that she was with this guy, and she had been seen going in his room, shutting the door, and coming back hours later out of his room.
When he discovered his wife's infidelity, she immediately chose to divorce him, leaving him to silently endure the pain.
She left me and my child a family for another man.
2 years later, his ex-wife informed him that she had given birth to a child. But what he didn't know was that the child was actually the result of her affair.
Your Honor, I was devastated. I was just ready to end it all.
The audacity. Having sex with a friend is one thing, but making me believe I'm the father of the baby. This woman is a devil incarnate. She should do time. I hope karma doesn't miss this one.
The elderly man was stunned when he learned that the daughter he had raised for 34 years was not his biological child. He was left feeling lost and helpless. Before this moment, he had never questioned his role as her father. However, it seemed his daughter had always suspected something. Years ago, during a family gathering, her uncle had let slip a crucial piece of information.
And my uncle said to me, "How's your daddy doing since he got out of prison?" So I said, "What do you mean? My dad's never been in prison." And I said, "Who do you think my daddy is?" And he said the other man's name.
And when she asked her mother about it, her mother only smiled without answering, as if silently confirming everything. From the moment the child was born, he had showered her with unconditional love. But now, seeing his daughter desperately seeking the truth, his heart was breaking. Even the wife's brother confirmed that the child wasn't his. The elderly man could only weakly protest. Soon after, the judge announced the results of the paternity
You
test.
are not her father.
That woman better be ready to pay him for the financial support all these years with interest. Poor man. We are in a cheating pandemic, I'm afraid.
Cannot even put a price on, baby. It is something that you cannot even look at the amount, because guess what? What we're doing is we're elevating you and we're growing you in a way that you could not even imagine. Why do you think that all the politicians are married? I built every single man up that I've ever been with, baby.
All right.
When they leave me, they're in a much better position than when they got with me, and that's a fact.
The very last man you was with, how long was that relationship?
3.5 years.
When you met him, was he a millionaire?
No.
When you left him, was he a millionaire?
No.
You ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of these women talk about what they could do for a man and how good they are. Y'all ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of y'all have an overinflated ego. You're not bringing nothing to the table but problems, attitude, and taint, tarnished, and zesty coochie. So check your attitude. No, check your attitude.
These women are always talking about, I was there when he had nothing. Were you paying the rent? Were you giving him gas money? Did you connect him to life-changing opportunities? No, none of that. I respect this dude for this bitter reality check.
If you falsely accuse a man of being your baby's daddy, it's called parentage fraud, and it's no joke. It's a new era. Ladies are legally free to be with whomever they feel free to be with. And for some women, an honest mistake could be made. Just make sure you're sincere and you've done your homework. And if you're making a legal claim to force a resistant man to claim your child as his dependent, make sure you can back it up with the facts.
14 years worth of jail time. Very good. This should reduce paternity fraud. Tired of these 304s thinking they can reap where they didn't sow.
Left. Mike, watch out. Be careful, be careful.
Be careful about what?
Be careful. Stir. Stir. More. You're gonna let it burn. Stir.
Stop it. I'm making sausage.
Put some more oil. You need a little bit of oil in there.
How to make sausage?
No, put some oil in there. A little bit of oil.
I already put some in there.
Put some oil in there.
I already did.
Put some oil in there. Too much. That's way too much.
I didn't even get it.
It's gonna be greasy now. Way too much oil. Stir.
Okay,
Stir. You're gonna burn.
I am stirring.
You're gonna burn. Some pepper in there. You need some pepper in there.
I'll do that later.
Put some pepper in there. Oh, it's too much pepper. Oh my God. Too much.
What are you doing? Why are you in here?
You're gonna ruin the whole thing.
Because I'm cooking. Not you, me, I am. Why are you doing this?
Because I wanted you to know what it feels like when I'm driving.
Are you serious? Get out of here.
Women act any way they see fit. Flip the script on them, and they go crazy. You can't make this shit up.
Are you serious? Get out of here.
You tell me if you think this is fair. I'm 40 years old. I married this woman when I was 33. After only knowing her 7 months, and no, I ain't getting no prenup or none of that, but she didn't have nothing. Me, I had a $1.5 million house in Hoover, Alabama. Me, I had the Mercedes in the driveway. I went to law school. I was the one up studying all them late nights. Didn't even know who this woman was back then, right? Now, you mean to tell me it took me 40 years to make all this, and this person who I've only known for 7 years, 7.
Brutal advice from manhood. Don't get married. If you want to get married, do it the Hakimi way. Prenups don't do shit in the divorce court. It gets thrown in the bin more often than not. These women want someone they didn't build with, and they plot, right from the wedding altar, on how to get that 50 split in the divorce phase. Black women especially. Yes, you heard it from me.
All right, so those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, you know, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father. And if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. It's going to be dramatic. And right now they're starting to also add in things like, you know, maternity fraud is a crime, and a punishable crime. So guys used to go to jail for not paying child support on a child that wasn't theirs, because the state wants to get their money, because if there is no father to pay for the child support, somebody has to pay for it, so they push it onto the nearest person that could be a father figure. And they're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
This is a new development. Every state needs to adopt this.
I ever hear a guy saying like, oh, you have a child, or oh, I don't want nothing to do with that. That means, one, they're not going to love your child, and they're just looking at you as a piece of meat, not as their family. Number two, they probably don't have the means to take care of your child because they're broke bums, and we don't want those men anyway. Now, mind you, I'm talking like I'm a single mom, but I know a lot of single mothers. And it doesn't always happen because you're irresponsible. It can literally happen. Get married, husband dies, now you're a single mother. Single widow, like whatever. Where real, true, high-value men are going to be seeking or not avoiding someone because they're a mother.
Nice. A real man voluntarily cucks himself. And it's like at this point, if women refer to you as a real man, chances are you're doing some hardcore simping or you're sacrificing your best interest as a man for the woman's.
Family court encourages this. They are disgusting along with these fraud mums that do this. The judges, the mums, the lawyers, all of them should be locked up. This is straight up BS. Once a woman starts calling you a real man, an intentional man, then you need to be worried. Those two adjectives mean stupid. It means you're a stupid man. Better to be called stingy or wicked than to be called a real man. Don't be a stepdad. There are a lot of women to go round. Don't ever settle for less. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.